Okay, this is Carrie, and she's consented to be on our video for training today. And so we're just going to kind of ignore you guys and just talk. It's just Carrie and I now. Okay, so now they've been excused from the room. Okay. It's just us. So one of the things that women get frustrated with their eye makeup is as we start to get shadows, and I'm going to have you look in the mirror here. Okay. As we get, this part of our area gets a little puffy because our eyes have come in a little bit. So then we get shadows here, which creates the drooping down effect, right? Yes. So one of the first things you do, I've already done your foundation, your blush. One of the first things you need to do is we want to recognize it's not just about lifting the eye with our eye makeup and making it darker, which the purpose of eye makeup, you know, the eyeliner is to bring it out, but is to lift and define the eye with shadows in the direction that we want, okay? Okay. So before we get to eyeliner, we got a couple of steps we want to do. Okay. So the first thing is we're going to do your brows. And I'm going to pick the taupe brow. We could do the dark, but I don't want to go, I know, because I know you don't go with heavily dark brows. I don't want to scare you too much. Okay. Okay. So your brows, you want them to start coming in from your nose like this. Do you want to see that, Carrie? Okay. So you see, you want them to start here. Now I had brows that came across here, so I had to minimize that. And then you want them to end out here. This is going to do a lot to give your eyebrows the eyeliner the definition that you want. And then, so they don't look too perfect, because you don't want them to look too perfect. You just kind of scratch them a little bit. These are twins, not, sisters, not twins, right? Yeah. So see how that right there just creates a definition, like the frame for your face. Okay. So our brows are really important, and a lot of times we get so focused on one makeup trick that we don't realize it's all the steps leading up to it. Okay? So I'm using applicators because we're clean. We don't use germs. We don't spread germs. We keep our products clean. And then, when it's on a new lady, always make sure you don't just eyeball it. Make sure you actually measure and look at it, because you don't want to screw up her face. So I always use my applicator like this and just double check that it's in the right placement. And then I check that I've made her even. Because people don't like being squampy or more than they already are. No, I don't. Yes, so picky. Now for eye makeup, I always do 3 basic colors. Here we go. I had 2 of those. I always do a darker color. I'm going to do Smoke Topaz. And then a blending color, Sandstone Pearl, and Whisper Pink. Okay? Now, we know we're going to get to eyeliner, but it's the steps leading up to it that help it be just perfect and help minimize the shadows. Okay. Okay? So we're going to contour our eye makeup to be lifting the eye and defining the eye, going upwards instead of letting it go down. So when you look at the magazines, they always have the eye makeup, out here. But once we start getting a little bit more mature and shadows and wrinkles, having eye makeup outside of this line does not serve us. So if you look in the mirror here, see that? Oh yeah. Okay. So you saw that I did this a lot with your eyebrows, because all of this is going to go into account into your eye makeup. We have special plans. Okay. So I took a little bit of Smoked Topaz and put it on my blending palette so that I'm not spreading any. I like your blending palette. This is my high-tech blending palette. You can't get these anywhere. Yeah. Beauty supply stores don't even have them. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? That is cool. Yeah, but it's great because then I have use of my fingers and hands and everything. And so I'm pulling on your eye, but you notice that I'm not yanking on it. A lot of times we do that. We want to be gentle. Go ahead and look down. And between that same line that we're talking about 3/4 over in the side of the eye, and the same line here. I call this the anti-aging line. Because if we follow our eye makeup going down, then we're just pulling it down further. And when we're building a house, we have the 2x4 structure of our house, right? And when you drive by that house, it looks kind of rough. Your dream home doesn't look as awesome as you want. Well, it's the same thing, we're building our dream eye. So this is our 2x4 structure. Okay. This is the basis. You notice that I did not go completely down here in the corner of your eye. I'm just going to turn for the people in the camera here. Because if we go all the way down, it pulls the eye down. And see how I stayed in here? If I go out of there, I can just kind of wipe it off. And we'll do the other eye. And your crease is down here, but I'm actually doing it where I want it, about halfway up. So I'm defining your crease where I want your crease to be.
You're doing my crease where?
I'm doing your crease higher up. Because see, your crease is right here. But that's not as important as defining the space the way I want to define it. So I've just built the sloped roof I want in your house.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted, I could just be done, slap sandstone pearl over the top and be done with your eye makeup. But I'm going to do a little extra because I know you're a lover of makeup. And this copper rose will be hotness with your eye color. So I just take it inside a little bit. And blend it in. And see how it goes over the 2x4 structure a little bit? But I'm not erasing it. If you're uncomfortable with the darkness, you can still go over completely over the colors and it still gives you that definition. But, right? I know you'll be okay with it because you love makeup. So you're a fun tutorial. There. And then sandstone pearl. I'm going to take that and blend and highlight a little bit on the eye. So if I wanted to make it lighter, I could actually take the sandstone pearl over the whole entire eye and it becomes lighter. And we still have some of the blended color and the contouring. But for you, I'm just going to go from here on the inside of the eye to the top like this and just blend it in. And this is going to make sure that this space between the bottom of the eye and the top, that there's a breaking. There's a darker color that's going to pull people into your eyes, and then highlighted, keeping the brow lifted and youthful looking. Okay, so look at that, the difference, what that does. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. And then we're going to do it over here. And this is also nice because if you get over exuberant with any of your colors, this helps to kind of erase them a little bit. And high-end makeup is about blending your colors. Okay, so now we've created this upward angle of the eye, and so it's helping to compete with the shadows that are there. But we want to erase the shadows. Yes?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I will use a sponge tip brush to do this trick, but because of cleanliness, I will be using a brush that I easily wash.
Okay.
So I take just a little bit in here, and I blend out. We get a little dark in here. So I blend it out so it's not obvious. And then look up for me, Carrie. And then underneath the eye, just a teeny bit. Again, it's easier with a sponge tip brush. Now, whatever is dark, our eye spends more time looking at. Whatever is light, our eye skims over it. Okay, so look in the mirror. Let me blend that just a teeny bit better. And notice the difference of how we're lifting and minimizing the eye. And look at the camera for the people that see how fun that is. So you can see how this is a precursor to the perfect eyeliner, because already the drooping of the eye is losing its definition before we've even gotten to eyeliner. Because if we're using just one tool to work out with, we're only going to get buff in one area, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we need to work out all over. Okay, look up for me. And we get a little red under here, so I just like taking a little bit of white so that when we do put the eyeliner there, it's not just this harsh line. And we don't want to be so harsh that it wants to be a blended feel, okay? So you do a little bit of liquids, don't you, on your eyeliner normally?
Sometimes.
Okay.
If I want to be bold, I do liquids. If I just want a soft daytime look, then I use a pencil. Okay.
So I only use liquids usually with this trick that I'm going to teach you, because the harsher line I like. Well, if I'm doing the 1940s throwback, yeah, I'll do that. Now, if this is yours, you just wipe it off. This is the eyeshadow. You just wipe it off like that so you don't have too much, and then use this as your pencil. Okay? Takes a little bit of practice, but I came up with this little thing because I don't like using liquid all the time. I just don't always like the look of it. But I like that this is from Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It's still there. This You know, it just stays, right?
Oh, good. Okay.
So for cleanliness purpose, I'm just going to take a little bit of this, put it on my CD or my high-tech blending palette. Use the same brush that I used for her eyebrows, and I have 2 of those, so I have choices. But I'm not double dunking any product. You can ignore that part because you get a dunk in you all the time. This has a little bit of cosmetic alcohol in it, so it doesn't collect bacteria. Did you guys just hear a trumpeting sound?
That's my husband.
Oh,
texting me.
okay. Okay, I'm like, it's the end of the world!
I have different,
And we missed it!
Set up for different people, so I know who it is without looking.
That was really exciting.
Yes.
Fair.
Oh, you should wait till he calls.
You guys would caught it on film.
Yeah, and when he calls, it's a Tarzan yodel.
Oh my heavens! I need to up my codes on my phone. I can see that.
Yeah. Then you don't have to worry about looking to see if you can ignore them or if it's
Like
something.
my children have like a pecking sound. Mom, mom, mom.
Oh.
Okay, look up for me, Carrie. So a lot of times I do the bottom last because you want to make sure you pull them up. And notice I just put a little bit here, and if I got too much, I either can wipe it with my finger or you can be more sanitary and use a Q-tip. But they do dry quickly, so you want to use it quickly. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing the bottom first on you, even though in general, if I can, I like to go to the top, but because of where the eye is touching the top of the eye, you don't want it to smudge.
Oh,
And since
okay.
we're moving around a lot, and I'm not going to just have you sit there for a minute, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable during
Okay.
filming. Not that we're filming and we're worried about them at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, watching this line, notice there's a lot of dark makeup right here, you know, because I'm not worried about going down with the eye.
Yeah.
So close your eye for me. And it's hard to do eyeliner in a straight line. You know, and as our skin gets more crepey, that's even harder to do. So you notice that I just kind of am feathering it to give me the look that I wanted. And that way I can go and fix the line how I want to. Notice I'm not pulling up the eye. That's a mistake people make. If you had flaps of skin right here, I always have notice where you're actually showing eyeliner.
Okay.
And if there's a huge flap over, which you don't, this is for instructional purposes, and you can't actually see that part of their skin, then why worry about decorating it that much?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll just do thicker eyeliner or not worry about decorating it, you know? But this line right here is helping. We've already laid the base of the eyeshadow, we've highlighted, we've blended, and so this is just adding a little cherry on the top.
Okay.
Okay? And so I do this here. Now the further up I go and come back and blend down, the more dramatic we're getting. But where we just want definition and we don't want shadows, this works. Okay. And just making sure I have a consistent line. There we go. Now, one mistake that people make is that they follow the eye going down, or they do not follow the line going in here, and they haven't built the eyeshadow properly.
Okay.
So it's like it just ends up smudging and falling out of the line. But if you've already created the boundaries where you're supposed to take the eyeliner, then it works. Go ahead and look in the mirror.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
So again, we just have this whole upward feeling to the eye.
Mhm.
And we're not seeing those shadows like we did. Okay, go ahead and close. If you'd look at me so I can see that I got you even. And see, I went out here a little bit. So I'll take the foundation brush and kind of smudge it out. You know, I went down too low. So it wasn't as perfect. So that's why you want to check to make sure that you're lifting it properly. And then if, let's say, I had really messed up, which I didn't mess up that bad, but I could just take a little bit of Whisper Pink and dot over that area to smudge out the blackness that I had created. Same thing goes when we're doing it at home. But stopping and looking and making sure your eyeliner is working. And let's just go up a teeny bit more because we can. Okay. Okay, so look in the mirror again.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, this is not a perfect flow. Notice when your eyes shut, and it's going to be hard for you to see, Carrie, it comes like this, and then it actually comes up in a straight line.
Okay.
But when your eye with the curve, it looks right. But when we're having it closed, we want it to be a perfect flow. There's just beautiful winging, streaming flow. You can't always do that. It's about staying within the lines and making sure we're lifting the eye up. And it doesn't look that way when it's open, but when it's closed, it's a loop and then straight line up.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily just a perfect line.
Okay.
And then, of course, mascara and everything goes pop.